So what I'm going through right now is I was just working on moving these fuel lines back from this area right here. As you can see, there's a hole right there we have to weld over and because it's all rusty. We're cutting out. So I unscrewed them all from these things and moved them all over that way. As usual, we had 3 broken bolts. It's okay. As you can see, all the wires are kind of pulled back out over here. I pulled them back through this gusset hole right here because I'm going to work on cutting all that out. We've got a lot of rust repair already done in this car. Over here, you have this little panel already welded in, and then this is the next part that is being welded in currently. Just got a little bit more over here to do, and obviously here. But that's all getting tacked together. Then we'll go back and tack again, seam seal it, and then it's ready to go. So I guess the next step right here on this car that we're working on is just finishing cutting out all this, cleaning it up, and then cutting the metal for it and shaping it into position. Not exactly sure what my plan is with that. I don't know if I'll focus on doing like this part right here first, and then moving on and doing like the back wall over here. I gotta leave room for a hole right here to fit the wires back through, and then put like a gusset thing around them. But yeah, for now, I guess I'm just gonna cut it out in some straight shapes so it's easier to cut out the piece of weld back in. Alright, I'm going ahead and we're gonna start welding on this piece now because all else has failed us today. So in order to do that, there's this little magnet piece right here. This nifty little thing for welding. Little magnet inside of it. And so I got this little piece cleaned off of this metal right here off of the paint. Put the thing right there. Grab the ground cable for that. Hook on right there. And we are going to start welding. Alright, so when you're welding on this sort of thing, the way we do it usually is we try to line it up perfectly. You can see how it's like flush, no overlap. Just because if you have overlap, it's more likely, I guess, to probably rust down inside. And so that means, you know, hammering these flat together, making sure that just meshing up perfectly. So it's a kind of a pain, but worth it in the end to avoid any sort of rust. A little bit of gap there, but we'll get that sorted out. Alright, got that tacked all in right there. I'll work on bending this piece in. Looks like for this, I'll have to get underneath and bend this back wall over here in a little bit. And then I'll reach this one and get a little more flushed up with that. Just because right there, it's wide enough that it'd be really hard to weld across that. So we'll bring those in together just a little closer. Now I'll work on bending this down to fit, and then this one's a little bit higher than that, as you can see. I'll work on doing that. And then this side over here will be nice and easy because it's relatively close already. It's gotta push it back and pop back over. And then that'll be all done. Alright, so I'll go back underneath here. Can I get a hammer for a second? Huh? Can I get a hammer for a second? Before. Tap this little piece down. What do you want to do? Give me a second. I'm going to chop this little corner down. Weld this. Is the ground back on? No. Okay. Put this ground on. Alright, you see like Can I have the hammer back? Only tack like right there where my finger is. Get those pretty close, right?
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it real fast and quick tack. Oh, great tack, though. Put it down over there.
Wanna go?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't.
Okay, now put it together.
You haven't tacked it. You didn't even tack it at all.
Yeah, how the freaking make it so it melts so I can weld through? You good?
Yeah. Alright, go ahead. Alright, next part. So we're welding the next side now. Let me fix that piece real fast, though. I got this all just about finished tacking in. Just got to go along this last little line right there and then get the back. Finish up that and then we'll come back through and we'll just tack in between all these. Seal it up a little more. We got to finish up a little more in this corner. Just get that lined up right. Back there and tack in between these and then seam seal and work on finishing cutting that part out.